Novice reviews Alien. Guys, I've been wanting to get more into sci-fi movies, and I've been holding off for a while, so I decided why not. Watched it earlier today. I really like this movie. It's simple but effective. That's how I describe it in a phrase, a sentence, whatever. It boils down to three things for me why it's simple and effective. The logic of some characters, the logic of characters, the mystery of the xenomorph, and then last one, diversity of thought. And I'll go into it one by one, right? So first off, the logic of the characters. There were characters in this movie, especially there's two in particular. I think even if this isn't necessarily a spoiler, I think everyone knows the gist of what happens in this movie. They've probably heard of Ripley. So she's probably her and someone else, nowhere near as much. But they were asking questions in this movie, and I was surprised by it because I've noticed watching modern sci-fi, the little that I have seen, including like Prometheus, for example, there are certain logical questions that I feel I am burdened to bring up by default. So when they kept bringing up certain things in the movie, wait, why are we in this situation? Why is this in here? Wait, how did we get... Okay, so how are you going to get rid of... Every time they pointed something out, especially Ripley and a couple other characters, I was like, wow, it's almost like her and the certain other characters in this movie were the audience, but inside this movie. And it made me like really feel really good, but also sad at the same time. It's almost like modern movies are over. I don't want to be one of those kind of romantic types that assumes modern movies are bad. They're not, but it feels like by comparison, new modern movies overcompensate with visuals to hide the fact that they're not intelligently written. It almost makes you want like people to go on strike, visual people who do VFX and all that stuff, CGI stuff, just to force people to write better stories with consistent logic. Always this, thinking about Star Wars, thinking about other alien movies that I've seen growing up. How is it I'm watching Prometheus by, for example, trained doctors? This movie, I don't think the people in this crew were like trained scientists. They were just people doing a mission, and they were contractually obligated to do it, so it made sense. Prometheus, scientists are in caves on an alien planet. Look at this little Venus flytrap. Let me go touch it real. Oh god, it's got my hand. Why? Why'd you think? You dumb. See you next Thursday. You're dumb. Shit gets me angry. This movie definitely made me feel like the writers were almost kind of preempting potential issues that people would have with this movie to this very day, almost half a century later after it was made. That's a great feeling. I don't feel that often. Second thing, the mystery of the xenomorph. It was, I don't know if it was like a combination of these things, like certain lighting in the darkness with like strobe lights, with like flashing lights of the ship, really extreme close-ups when they would show a full view of like the xenomorph's face or like bits of its body. All of that together, and then certain like kind of shots were really, I've never felt more scared of the xenomorph. My experience watching the Alien franchise is very limited. Like I mentioned, I've seen Prometheus when I was really younger. I don't know if it was Alien versus Predator or something else, but I remember watching a little bit. It's the Alien movie that has Sanaa Lathan in it. So, yeah, if you know that actress. Anytime I've seen more of the modern Alien movies by comparison, and just other movies in general, horror movies, so on and so forth, it doesn't feel like I can't put my finger on it. My imagination I really understand what people mean when they say your imagination is like the strongest, most horrifying thing. Because I wasn't seeing it in full view, but I was. Like, they were showing me this thing is ginormous, gigantic. But at the same time, I wasn't seeing everything in the dark with certain shots. And they'll show me extreme close up and like really like kind of scare me. But it didn't feel like a cheap jump scare. It felt earned. So everything, it felt like there was thinking behind it, even if it was like just a one shot here, another shot here. You can tell a lot of planning went into this movie. I don't know how much the budget was. Maybe this was considered a high budget movie back then, but this to me, just like Halloween actually, when I watched that with Michael Myers, all of the shots of him probably today look like a student film, but they felt effective because this guy seemed like a freak of nature. How were you taking all these shots? How were you given all these shots and just turning up places? It was freaky. It's just like the Xenomorph. Xenomorph has never been more scary to me than in this movie. Boy. The last thing, third thing, diversity of thought. Now the reason why I say that, there's two characters in this movie. They happen to not be white men. Always talk about diversity. I feel like this people who think that way, myself included to some degree, I admit, need to take notes because I liked the two characters. One is a woman, Ripley. Another one happened to be a black dude. I didn't like them because of identity. It had nothing to do with that. Again, such an odd feeling with the writing in this movie. I was like, damn, I actually like these people because they feel like interesting characters to me. It's so weird. Is there a full moon outside? Is there a solar eclipse? What the heck is happening? Ripley again seemed like she was being the most consistently logical character, and the other character I'm thinking of, Parker. I liked that he seemed a bit cheeky at the start of the movie when they introduced him, but he was also pointing out two other things. He seemed like a bit of a rogue, and someone who also sometimes would point out some logical things that really surprised me as the audience, like watching the film. Like, shouldn't I be pointing out that stuff? I remember there was a bit where he was like, "Why don't we just do so and so?" I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good point. Why didn't you do that?" Ripley was doing that throughout, and he also pointed out at one point something that made me realize, oh, this guy is like a Han Solo type, and he makes me. That's another bonus. He made me understand the character like Han Solo. I've been trying to think. I've been referencing Star Wars because the Mandalorian. I've been thinking about that a lot in the original trilogy and the value of storytelling then compared to like my first experience of Star Wars, which you can probably tell by my age, was the prequels, right? And that's something that I've never truly understood. I like Harrison Ford. I've never completely vibed with the concept that, oh, this guy's a rogue. Even with the whole controversy, Han shot first, I understand that. Maybe it's his love of Leia compared to this character in this movie, Parker, who made it clear, look, the only reason why I even give a slight damn, money, cash, cheese, cheddar, I don't give a flying monkeys. But this shit is dumb. Probably, he didn't say all of that, obviously, but it's implied. I like that. I like that there's a strong intent that is more selfish. It doesn't have to be, oh, let's do this because we have a responsibility. Let's do this because it's the rules. Not every character is like that. Diversity of thoughts is so simple, but it's effective. It seems so odd, but it shouldn't be. That makes me kind of sad, but it makes me happy watching this movie. And guys, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think down below. Do you want me to, I'm definitely planning to review more with the Alien franchise, at least the first 3 movies. Yeah, I'll put up 4 fingers. Tell me what else you want me to check out for my Novice reviews stuff. I'm planning to watch more like old school movies. Comment, like, subscribe down below. Buttons right there. Don't be shy. Just press it. click. Other than that, signing off. Salute.